Today we're going to be taking a look at what I think are the top 10 most underrated LEGO Star Wars sets ever made. Not too long ago I made a video talking about what I thought were the top 10 most overrated LEGO Star Wars sets, and a few of you guys were requesting me to do the top 10 most underrated LEGO Star Wars sets. I was already planning on making this video, I just didn't know when, so since everyone was requesting it, I kind of just decided to do it now. Before we get into the list, I'm going to say this is probably going to be the most controversial video I've made so far, and you guys are probably going to think a lot of these sets are really random and not super underrated, but honestly, if you think about it, that's what makes a set underrated, is if it doesn't get enough attention. As always, I encourage you guys to voice your opinions in the comments, but since this video is probably going to be controversial, I'm not going to be replying to a lot of people. Starting off the list with some honorable mentions, first off, I'm going with 75081 T16 Skyhopper. This set came out in 2015, and why I think it's a pretty underrated set, or at least an honorable mention for the top 10 most underrated sets, is because it got overshadowed by a lot of the new Star Wars Rebels sets that came out that year, and I feel like if this set came out in 2014 or 2016, it would have been appreciated a lot more. It's a classic Star Wars ship with an amazing build. It's definitely an upgrade from the 2004 version, and it has two great minifigures, with the pilot being exclusive. Moving on to our second honorable mention, this was a tough one, but I'm going with 7674 V19 Torrent. Now, the reason this set is not in the top 10 and is just an honorable mention is because I wouldn't say this set is like super underrated, it just doesn't get as much attention as it used to. And I think a lot of the newer generation people that are getting into LEGO Star Wars just aren't really appreciating this set for what it is, and that kind of disappoints me because I have to say this probably has the best feature on any LEGO Star Wars set ever made. Basically, it uses LEGO made hydraulic pistons, and when you just pick this set up, the wings will naturally fold down and the landing gear will come up. So pretty much right when you pick it up, it'll just naturally fall into its flying position. I bought this set used about 5 years ago for around $60 or $70, and I do have to say it's still one of my favorite sets in my collection. And for our last honorable mention, I'm going with 8087 TIE Defender. When this set came out, it definitely had its followers, but now almost 13 years later, it's kind of died down. And that's really the main reason that it didn't make the top 10, is because it was popular at a time. I think the build itself looks pretty outdated. Even for 2010, it looks kind of outdated to me. I don't know why they only used 300 pieces. They definitely could have used more to like beef it up a little bit because it looks pretty flimsy. And also the two minifigures that came with it aren't very special either. You just have a normal stormtrooper from the 2010-2009 era and then a TIE pilot from the era. But other than those few things, I actually really like this set. As all of you guys know, the wings do spin around the cockpit, and I think that's a great feature. And I also like how there's more black used than gray because it just makes it look like a little bit more aggressive. And I mean, with only using 300 pieces, I think they definitely did a great job. Alright guys, now moving into our actual top 10. At our number 10 spot, we have 4501 Mos Eisley Cantina. Now this set definitely does have its cult following, and that's mainly why I put it at number 10. It came out all the way back in 2004, and for 2004, you're actually getting a lot in this set, and most of it is pretty advanced too. You're getting a really nice looking Luke's lane speeder that has a lot of great detail, and you're also getting the first LEGO dewback. As most of you probably know, the main draw for this set is that arm printed Greedo, and honestly, in my opinion, I think it looks a little bit better than the arm printed Boba Fett, mainly because I think his blue skin goes really nice with his tan outfit and sleeves. But I mean, nevertheless, I would honestly rather have this figure than the Boba Fett. Speaking of the figures, 4 of them are exclusive. Obviously the Greedo, and then we have the exclusive Han Solo, an exclusive Kenobi, and an exclusive Stormtrooper. There's not really a whole lot to tell that's exclusive about the other figures, mainly just the leg printing on the Han Solo, and then the Stormtrooper comes with the pauldron. And the only thing exclusive about the Kenobi is that he has bluish gray hair. But nevertheless, 4 exclusive minifigures and a $30 set with a really nice looking dewback, which technically is exclusive too, and then a really advanced land speeder for the time. I think this set is definitely just a bang for your buck back in 2004, and honestly I still think it is today, as its value has only gone up to about $300. And you might think that's a lot, but if you compare it to the value of the Cloud City, which also has an arm printed figure, and that value is just insane, it's about $7,000 now. So if you compare to these two sets, I mean, both of them coming out in back-to-back years and both of them having arm printed figures, obviously this one is sort of the better deal, although I do have to say that in the Cloud City, besides the Boba Fett, the other figures that are exclusive are a lot better than the other figures that are exclusive in this set, and obviously that set has just loads of hype and fans around it right now, so it's pretty clear why the value is going up so high. Moving on to our number 9 spot, we have 10227 B-Wing Starfighter. Now some of you have definitely probably heard me rant about this set before, but in case you need to hear it again, I think this is by far the most underrated UCS set ever made. It just looks so good on display, and I know it is all gray, but for some reason there's something about this that makes it not look as bland even though it's all gray. I guess it's the combining of the stickers and the shapings and the unique variety of pieces that were used. Since it came out in 2012, it definitely gets overshadowed by the UCS R2-D2, which really confuses me because this set is clearly better than that one. It also gets overshadowed by sets like Jabba's Palace and Palpatine's Arrest, and I don't want to go so far to say that it's not very known. It's definitely a widely known set. It just gets overlooked, and I don't know why. Like, this is truly one of the best UCS sets LEGO has ever made. Moving on to our number 8 spot, we have 7664 TIE Crawler. Now you guys are probably gonna freak out and say that, oh my gosh, this set gets so much much talk lately, and well, it definitely does get a lot of talk, but I still think this set is yet to get the praise it deserves. The main reason I love it so much is because it's clearly pulled straight from Star Wars Legends. If you don't know, the TIE Crawler first appeared all the way back in 1991 in the first comic of the Dark Empire series, and then it later appeared in comics like the Crimson Empire in 1998 and Legacy of the Force in 2007. And it's also just really unique. I mean, look at it. It's literally a TIE fighter on treads. It's also really impressive that this set still looks really good today, and it came out almost 16 years ago. Now, what I do think is strange, but I also kind of really like, is that the minifigures are just two Imperial Shadow Troopers, the exact same ones that came in the Imperial Dropship Battle Pack. There is no TIE Pilot that comes in this set, which is kind of strange, but I also really like the classic Shadow Trooper minifigure, so I mean, what is there to complain about? Moving on to our number 8 spot, we have 9500 Sith Fury Class Interceptor. Now, there is really only good things to say about this set. The build looks just, it's absolutely amazing. It's probably one of the most intimidating looking LEGO Star Wars sets I've ever seen, and just intimidating Star Wars ships in general. You might say that it is sort of reminiscent of like a TIE Interceptor baby, but I think it definitely stands alone from that. It's just really unique, and it looks really mean, and I just love the overall look of the build and of the ship itself. And build aside, the minifigures that come in this set are just amazing. There's only 3 of them, and 2 of them are identical, but they're all just amazing, and they're all exclusive too. The first one obviously being that Darth Malgus figure, which I mean, it might even be a contender for the best LEGO Star Wars Sith minifigure. I mean, this is definitely up there with Darth Raven and the arm-printed Darth Maul. He's really unique, and he looks really intimidating, especially with his mouthpiece and his chest piece. I think LEGO just did an absolutely amazing job with this figure, especially for it being back in 2012. It's just pretty much flawless. And the other 2 figures that come in the set are not really anything too special. They're just 2 Sith Troopers. I mean, 2 almost nearly identical ones came in the Republic Troopers Battle Pack, and I think one also came in the Jedi Defender class cruiser. There's not really a whole lot going on here. I mean, it is exclusive, but it's not really easy to tell that it's exclusive. Really, the main draw for this set is obviously that Darth Malgus figure, and then the actual build itself. Now, all that aside, I mean, this set is it's pretty much flawless. Like, it has like a 99%. Like, it is one of the only times that LEGO has made an almost flawless LEGO Star Wars set. Now, if you include just the build and the figures itself, it actually is flawless. It gets a 100. But the one downside about this set is that it was $90 and it had 750 pieces. And I mean, that's not even a whole lot to complain about, because the figures, or at least the Darth Malgus figure, definitely makes up for that price point. I mean, this set really is just one of a kind. I mean, I don't think we're ever going to see a set like this anytime soon. I mean, obviously because it's from the Old Republic, but I mean, just a set this unique in general, I don't think it's going to happen again, at least for the next decade or so. Moving on to our number 6 spot, this is going to be a bit of a weird one, but we have 75024 HH87 Starhopper. Now, clearly the only reason this set has kind of gone under the radar and kind of been forgotten about is because the vehicle or the ship itself is not very known. But if you put its lack of popularity aside, just forget about that a second, this set is actually pretty good. It came out in August of 2013, it has 360 pieces, and it retailed for $40, and it had 3 exclusive minifigures, and they're actually pretty good minifigures too. The prominent ones obviously being the fan favorite Cad Bane and the Obi-Wan Rocco Hardim disguise. Now, the build itself does look a little bit outdated for 2013, even though that was 10 years ago, but there are still some parts of this that definitely shine, and one of them is the colorway. I think the tan and the lime green, it just goes really good together. I can't really describe it, but it just flows really nicely. And then obviously you have some gray mixed in there too. I also really like the design of the wings. When they're folded up, they look really nice, and then when they fold down, it kind of resembles like some type of glider maybe. But I mean, overall, this is definitely a really solid set that has gone completely under the radar for the past 10 years. Moving on to our number 5 spot, we have 9497 Republic Striker Class Starfighter. The set was released in June of 2012. It has 370 pieces, and it retailed for $45, although today it is now going for around $160. No, I do not think this set is better than the Sith Interceptor. They are pretty close in my opinion. I think the Sith Interceptor is just a little bit better, but you have to remember that this is a list of what I think are the top 10 most underrated LEGO Star Wars sets, and yes, I definitely do think this set is more underrated than the Sith Interceptor. When the wings are in its flying position, it does kind of roughly resemble an E-Wing or a Z95 Headhunter, but I don't really think that's the best comparison. As for the wings fold down in a pretty unique landing position. The colorway is also probably one of the best colorways I've ever seen in a LEGO Star Wars set, especially a LEGO Star Wars Starfighter. The dark red with the white stripes, it just goes really nice together. It looks really rustic, and it really does resemble the Old Republic era. This set also comes with 3 exclusive minifigures, the 2 main ones obviously being Satele Shan and Jace Malcolm, and then obviously there's that Old Republic astromech droid. But I mean, like I said, the Sith Interceptor, I mean, this was just a really special time for LEGO Star Wars, and you know, it's definitely going to be quite a while before we get unique sets sets like these again. Moving on to our number 4 spot, this is probably going to be a little bit controversial, but we have 75086 Battle Droid Troop Carrier. Now don't get me wrong, when this set first came out, it definitely was one of the highlights of 2015. Although the reason I have it on this list and the reason I have it so high up on the list is that I think this set deserves a lot more long-term love than it's gotten. If you think about it, this set is really like the pinnacle of Battle Droid Troop Carriers. Like, it is the 2007 MTT of Battle Droid Troop Carriers. I think there's been about 3 or 4 ever made, and just none of them even come close to comparing to this one. It had 12 normal B1 battle droids, 2 battle droid pilots, and then 1 exclusive Gunyan warrior. The build itself is also highly accurate to what we see in the movies. It's the perfect scale and it holds the perfect amount of droids. It has 565 pieces, and get this is the best part, it only retailed for $40. Today this could easily be a $50, $60, maybe even a $70 set, but it was retailed for $40. I don't know what LEGO was thinking, but they really blessed us with this one. Now moving into our top 3, at our number 3 spot, we have 75087 Anakin's Custom Jedi Starfighter. Now what a lot of people didn't know about this set at the time was that it is straight from the classic 2003 Clone Wars TV show, or miniseries, whatever you want to call it, and that's really the main reason I like this set so much, and one of the reasons I put it so high up on this list. It definitely resembles Plo Koon's Jedi Starfighter just a little bit, except that I think it looks a lot better. Minifigures are also pretty nice. You get the 2013 version of the Episode 2 Anakin, and you get an exclusive Asajj Ventress, which is actually the last Asajj Ventress that was made, and in my opinion, I think it is the best looking version. And then you also get a red astromech droid, which is the same one that came in the 2014 V-Wing. So overall, this set is really nice. It has a great selection of minifigures. Only one of them is exclusive, being the Asajj Ventress, although the other 2 are also pretty rare and sought after. Not so much the astromech droid, but definitely the Anakin Skywalker. As in today, as the beginning of 2023, he's actually going for more than the Asajj Ventress is going for. Now moving on to our number 2 spot, we have 75058 MTT. Now I just had to put this set on this list. I mean, the hate it gets is just absurd. Yes, I know that when this set is compared to the 2007 MTT, it's really not much. It only comes with 6 battle droids compared to like, what, I don't even know, like 20 or however many the 2007 version came with. But if you actually don't compare it to the 2007 MTT, which is what everyone does, and I mean, I see why they do it, I just don't think they should. So if you don't compare this one to the 2007 version, it's actually a really good set. It's a little bit on the smaller end, but I think the shape and curvature is actually really accurate, and it really does give off that classic MTT look. And excluding the limited number of battle droids, the other minifigures that come in the set are pretty good, especially the Qui-Gon Jinn, which is exclusive, and the Naboo security guard. The Obi-Wan figure is also pretty good, although he did appear in the Naboo Starfighter that year as well. And then you also have the PK4 droid, which also is exclusive, but I mean, not a whole lot of people care about that. I mean, LEGO definitely could have probably done more. They could have added more pieces to this set, more minifigures, whatever, but they made a 950 piece set, and it retails for $90, or it retailed for $90, and with the price point and piece count they chose, this is definitely the best they could have done, and I think they did a great job. Alright guys, now moving on to our number 1 spot. This is definitely going to shock a lot of people, but for my pick as the most underrated LEGO Star Wars set ever made, I'm going with 7671 AT-AP Walker from 2008. This set just gets so overlooked, and I honestly have no idea why. I've been in the LEGO community for at least 8 to 9 years now, and this set is very rarely talked about. It is the first version of the AT-AP LEGO made, and it also comes with 2 exclusive classic Phase 2 LEGO Shock Troopers, and you'd think that since it comes with these 2 exclusive minifigures that it would get more attention, but it simply just doesn't. There's simply just not an explanation of why this set has gone so under the radar. I mean, yeah, you could argue that it's a bit weird that it comes with 2 Shock Troopers and it's from Kashyyyk and the clone troopers are just out of place, but I mean, there were also Shock Troopers in the original Clone Battle Pack and no one cared about that, so I don't think anyone should care why there are Shock Troopers in this set. And yeah, I mean, the 2014-2019 AT-AP Walkers are significantly better than this one, but this is where it all started for the LEGO AT-AP Walker, and I definitely think it deserves more love. Anyways, that is going to do it for this video, guys. Be safe, have a nice day, and I will see you guys again soon.